The last sense to develop, which is also our most vulnerable sense, is our sense of sight. We have already covered the sense of touch, the sense of movement and balance, the sense of smell, the sense of taste, the sense of hearing, and today we pause on the sense of sight. The sense of sight is vulnerable because the eyes need the nerve connections built by all the other senses as a foundation before the sense of sight can develop. It is similar to the cherry on the top of a cake. The cherry adds to the overall experience, but in isolation, it does not account for much. How we see, the way that we use our eyes, and how we perceive the world through sight is the result of a complex series of connections and neural developments which should have taken place in the early formative years and which are dependent upon adequate maturation of the central nervous system. The eyes rely heavily on the earlier senses for multisensory and concrete experience, from which to draw memories and then to make sense of the visual images. The senses of touch, movement, balance, smell, and taste are all single senses. One skin, one inside sensory system, one nose and one mouth. And they have an enormous impact on the emotional brain. And as we know, the emotional brain is the seat of immunity and health, and the reason why we need to pay close attention to how we treat a newborn baby's skin. Do we touch in a way that puts the "help me" survival response to rest? Or do we touch the baby in a way that is painful and rough and it triggers the "help me" response, which compromises healthy and happy baby development? Supportive touch soothes. When needles and plasters need to be used to sustain life, use it gently and do what you can to provide supportive touch. Because Hollow's research showed us softness soothes. Provide a soft and comforting cocoon around the baby's body. It will greatly enhance a baby's fighting spirit to get better, especially if mom's smell has permeated the cocoon. Because then baby doesn't feel abandoned when in an incubator, but feel comforted and supported. Where possible, recommend kangaroo care as it keeps baby close to the feel and smell of mom while moving with mom. Moving with mom continues to stimulate the inside senses, while a baby in an incubator is deprived of movement. Research has shown us the development of the inside senses is fundamental to the development of the eyes. During the transition from life in utero to life in air and space, we need to remember sameness soothes. And that is why we need to limit new and unfamiliar sensory experiences. A baby who is overwhelmed by a tsunami of unfamiliar multi-sensory sensations experiences a traffic jam in the brain, which triggers the "help me" response. And that, as we know, compromise feeding and thriving. If you watch how a baby sees before he really looks at an object, you'll notice they first touch and then they put it in the mouth. A baby's senses of touch, movement, smell, and taste are the baby's early eyes. These basic eyes need to develop properly before the two real eyes can develop. Breastfeeding is the start of visual development. Mom's eyes provide the perfect stimulation because babies love contrast, shiny, and movement. The development of the earlier senses forms a firm foundation for the development of the eyes, but that's not enough. The eyes also need a strong neck and core muscles to keep the head still and the eyes straight so they can send clear pictures to the brain. It is similar to taking a photo while moving and blurring it compared to when photo is taken from a stable tripod. The two ears and the two eyes are the pathways to the clever left and right brain. And that is why we need to develop a strong body to carry the clever brain around. What can you do? Encourage natural birth. The contractions provide superb touch and proprioceptive input to create a body map in the brain so the brain learns to see without looking. Be sensitive to the sensory needs of a newborn baby and put the help me response to rest and stimulate the develop me response. Support mom to breastfeed like a pro because sucking stimulates eye teaming and convergence. Encourage daily massage so baby become aware of both sides of his body, so both ears and eyes and both sides of the brain can develop properly. Encourage tummy time. Tummy time encourages head control and head turning to the left and to the right. Remember, a strong neck leads physical development so baby can reach each milestone in sequence. Encourage rolling over to the left and to the right because a strong neck and strong core muscles provide baby's eyes with a stable base to send clear pictures to the brain. Baby's eyes develop very slowly to give the other senses time to develop first. Encourage mom to make a simple mobile from everyday objects in the house and hang it close enough that baby can see it. Move the mobile to the left and right sides and wait for the eyes to follow. At first you will notice the whole body turns to follow, but as the baby develops, the body stays still and the eyes turn more often. When the eyes and the inside senses work well together, a baby naturally starts reaching out to touch it. Change the objects on the mobile because sameness soothes, but difference develops. Make sure mom puts her phone away and make eye contact with her baby. Positive touch, mom's smell, mom's voice, and her eye contact flick the anti-violence switch in the brain, which floods both mom and baby with oxytocin, the hormone of love. You hold the future in your hands. Please handle with care.
This is your foot. Did you see that? Windows. Listen. Crunch. Look, it's a doggy. Can you smell that? It's flying. You know this place. This is our home. And look, the sun. So many pigeons. Painted. He's old. Sirens. Did you hear that?
I promise I'll do better.
Sky.
I'll always hold you close.
It's getting cold. It's water. Can you feel it? It's warm.
Promise, and I'll do better. 'Cause you are loved.
Bell.
You are loved.
Train. It's banana. Sisters. Clock. Look up. There. Balloons.
All of my days.